Hi, and welcome to Beginner Yoga Strength with Global Oasis Yoga. If you consider yourself somewhat physically fit but new to yoga, this Track 2 class is the one for you. If you're brand new to yoga and movement in general, Track 1 is the path you want to take, and you will find a link to the Track 1 Beginner Yoga series in the written description below this video. This Track 2 strength class is one of 4 in the series. You can find a link to the rest of the classes in the series again in the written description below this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, which is free, and you can easily save this and the other classes in your watch later list so that they're easy to find and add into your rotation. Props are optional for today's class, but you might find it handy to have a rolled up blanket or a bolster pillow, in addition to a set of yoga blocks, or if you don't have blocks, you can substitute 2 stacks of sturdy books for those. And if you are using blocks or props, go ahead and bring them to the top of your mat. And let's start standing today. Hop on over to the mat with me and let's begin. Your feet are hip width distance apart. Your tailbone is slightly tucked here. Begin to bring a little bit of core activation in, hugging the navel to the spine and drawing the pubic bone up towards the navel. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and gently reach the shoulder blades for one another on the back, which gives you the sensation of your collarbones drawing away from one another. So we're not looking for a protruding chest situation. We're just having a kind of relaxed activation happening, so where you're still engaged but nothing too exaggerated. Close the eyes and bring your awareness to your breathing. We're going to begin taking long and slow, even inhales and exhales through the nose, with the goal of allowing the belly to expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale. You can even place your hand on your lower belly if that helps to give you a physical reminder of that sensation there. Just breathing here a few times. Let's take one more big inhale. Breathing in all the way to the top. And then see if you can get just a little bit more air in there. And exhale through the nose, contracting the belly. All the way until it's completely empty. Lower the right shoulder over towards the right ear. Sweep the head through center and tuck the chin towards the chest. Lower the left ear over the left shoulder. Sweep the head from side to side in that same movement pattern, making it a little more fluid. Pause where you feel like you could use some more attention. One more time on each side. Lift the head back to center. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up overhead and gaze at the fingertips. Exhale, lower the arms by the sides. 2 more times. Inhale it up. And exhale down. One more inhale. And exhale. Next, lift the arms up, cross the left arm over the right, and bring the arms into an eagle shape. So you're intertwining them, left arm on top, and then seeing if you can bring the palms to reach each other. If the palms don't think that's a good idea, you can bring the backs of the hands towards one another here. What we want to do is lift the triceps so that they're parallel to the mat. Okay? From here, we're reaching the elbows forward, reaching the hands forward, and allowing the shoulder blades to separate. Just getting a nice shoulder stretch here. Press the palms together or the backs of the hands together firmly. Unravel the arms and take it to the other side. This time the right arm is on top. Triceps are parallel to the ground. Elbows are reaching away from you and your shoulder blades are separating. Unravel the arms, keep the arms lifted, reach them in front of you and make fists with the hands. Squeeze as tightly as you possibly can, and we're going to open and close our fists. As we open, we want to really extend the fingers as much as we possibly can, and as we tighten, we want to squeeze as much as we possibly can. Not just the fists, but the whole arm. So opening and closing as fast and as exuberantly as you possibly can. Bringing heat into the forearms, the wrists, the hands, and building strength. We'll be here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you can, keep the arms lifted. Take a short break if you need one. Take the arms out to the sides. And now, as if you are trying to open a door that has a round doorknob, take the fingers into kind of a C shape, like you're gripping a doorknob, and then rotate from the shoulder joint, not the wrist joint. Rotate from the shoulder joint, opening and closing the door. Rotating as fast as you can, again, keeping those fingers in the C shape, reaching the arms away from one another, hugging the muscles in for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the arms, take them down to the sides. You can even place the hands on the thighs if you want. Close the eyes momentarily. Just notice the sensations running through your arms. That buzzing and strength building feeling that you have. Take in a breath or two here. And if you're not already at the top of your mat, bring yourself there. We're going to find chair pose. Okay, so take the feet hip width distance apart, shift the weight into the heels, sit back in your chair. Make sure your knees stay behind the big toes. Hands on the waist or the arms extended straight and strong next to the ears. The arms are working just as hard as the legs here, activating all the muscles there. Pausing in your chair pose. For 3, 2, find a forward fold. Straighten the legs, hinge at the waist, lower down into your fold. Knees are as bent or as straight as you'd like them to be, and the head can dangle here. Allow the vertebrae to separate from one another, lengthening through the spine, opening through the backs of the legs here in the glutes. You can rest fingertips on the ground. You can utilize your blocks here if you'd like. You can also grab opposite elbows.
We're gonna uncurl from here and find our way back into chair pose. So bend into the knees again.
Lift it up straight to your chair pose. Pausing in chair for 5, 4, 3, 2, straighten the legs, forward fold again, rest and forward fold. Maybe this time you go just a tiny bit deeper than you did the first time. Let's find that sequence one more time. Sink deep into the heels, bend the knees, and find your chair pose. Making sure you can still see your big toes there. Tucking the tailbone slightly here. We don't want too much of an arch in the spine. Arms are strong for 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs. Find your forward fold.
Starting to build heat. Get our heart rate lifting a moment here. Slowly make your way all the way back up to standing, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae. When you get to the top, roll the shoulders back, soften them away from the ears. We're going to continue building heat by finding a few rounds of our Sun Salutation A next. We're going to have a few add-ons with those, so we'll start with a basic beginning of one. Let's inhale the arms up overhead and exhale to forward fold. Inhale, straighten the spine, use the core to lift up, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale, bend into the knees, plant the hands on the ground, step back into your high plank or plank on the knees. We're going to lower from high plank or plank on the knees to our cobra pose. So exhale, as you lower, gaze forward, elbows straight back behind you, untuck the toes, press into the ground, and inhale, lift the head, neck, chest, rib cage for your cobra pose. Exhale to lower and draw the hips back towards the heels. Come onto the balls of the feet and find your downward facing dog. Push the ground away. Reach the heels towards the mat. Reach the sit bones towards the sky. And roll the shoulders open, making sure to have equal weight distribution between your fingers, your knuckles, your palms, and your wrists here. Reaching the chest towards the thighs. Next, come onto the balls of the feet. We're going to ripple the body forward, keeping the spine rounded at first. Rocking forward, bringing the shoulders over the wrists, and meeting our high plank pose. Let's do that a few more times. Bend into the knees to draw the hips back towards the heels. Find your downward facing dog again. And then rise up on the balls of the feet. Ripple it forward with a rounded spine at first. Meet your plank and pause. One more time. Hips over heels. Straighten the legs. Rock it forward. And find your high plank. Next, we are going to take 5 push-ups. Your choice, you can stay lifted and lower into your push-ups here, or you can come down to the knees, untuck the toes, drop the hips so that your shoulders have a straight line to your knees, and lower into your push-ups. We're going to attempt to keep our elbows kind of close to the body here and see if we can drive the elbows straight behind us as we lift and lower. So again, finding 5 push-ups, keep the gaze lifted.
you've reached your 5th push-up, tuck back onto the toes, lift the hips back over the heels to your downward facing dog. Rise up onto the balls of the feet again. We're making our way to the top of the mat. Couple of options to get there. You can walk the feet to the hands. You could also hop the feet to the hands if you'd like. Bend deeply into the knees, gaze forward, spring off the feet, and lightly land with the feet behind the hands or in between the hands. Straighten the legs. Find your half lift by extending the spine, strong core here. Exhale, find your forward fold again. And inhale brings you all the way up. Arms come with this time. And exhale, hands back by the sides. Round 2. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, find your forward fold. Inhale, strong core, extend the spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Got a couple of options here. You can step back to your high plank. You could also hop back to your high plank if you'd like. Okay, bending into the knees, hopping it back. 5 push-ups. Again, keep the knees lifted if you'd like, or lower to the knees and find 5. Once you've hit your 5th push-up, lower all the way down, untuck the toes, and take your cobra shape on the inhale. Lifting the head, chest, neck. Exhale to lower, press it back, untuck the toes, straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Breathing here in your down dog. Reaching the chest for the thighs, really rolling the shoulders open. Gripping the mat with your fingertips, the full length of your fingers. On your next inhale, lift the right toes high and find a 3-legged dog. We're going to step our right foot in between the hands. So keep the hips as lifted as you possibly can. Round the spine like we did earlier. Tuck the knee towards the chest as close as you can get it. And step the foot in between the hands. If it's landing further back from your hands, you can heel toe it into position or reach back with the right hand and bring it in. Stay on the toes of the back foot. Keep the ball of the foot, the heel lifted, press into the ground and press up into a high lunge. Inhale, the arms up overhead. You can also keep the hands at the waist if you'd like. Breathing here in your high lunge, you want to keep your back leg as strong as your front. Couple of breaths here. And you have the option to static hold in your high lunge, or if you'd like some more activity, you can bend and straighten the front leg 5 times. Find one nice, really big inhale. And on your exhale, open the arms wide, flatten the back foot, and twist the torso over to the left. So now your rib cage and your hips are pointed to the long side of the mat. Warrior 2. Again, your back foot is flat and the toes are pointed forward at a 45-degree angle. You want to reach the shoulder blades towards one another on the back. Make sure you can see your big right toe here in your Warrior 2. Take a nice big inhale and exhale here. And let's reverse our warrior. Take the right palm and face it up towards the sky or the ceiling. Slide the left hand down the left thigh. Reach the right arm back over the right ear, reaching for the back of the mat. Your front knee is still bent. Reverse warrior. Breathing here. Building strength in that right leg, as you can probably feel. Side body is working here. Arms are working here. Inhale, reach it back up to your warrior two. Let's take side angle. Bend the right elbow. Place it on the right knee lightly. And reach the left arm over the left ear. You're still rolling the shoulder open to the long side of the mat here. Your right arm should be light on the knee, only there for support. This is side angle. And now look down, straighten the front leg, heel toe the back foot in just a little bit so that the heel of the front foot is lined up with the arch of the back foot. We're going to take triangle pose next. Arms are still open wide. Reach forward with the right hand as far as you possibly can, and then lower the right hand towards the outside of the right calf, or you can lower any depth that you'd like, as long as your chest is remaining open towards the long side of the mat. If you find your chest is rotating down, come out of that depth a little bit so that your chest can stay pointed to the left. Triangle pose. A couple breaths here. And now rotate the shoulder down towards the mat. Bring the hands down to the mat, bending into the front knee. Rotate onto the ball of the back foot. Step your feet together at the back of the mat. Lift the hips to help you get clearance to step the foot back and take a vinyasa. You can also take child's pose here or rest in downward facing dog. To lower down to your vinyasa, exhale, bend the elbows, and then inhale, either find your cobra shape, or option 2 is to lower to low push-up, rock forward, bring the chest up, turn on to the tops of the feet and keep the thighs lifted for upward facing dog. Your shoulders are directly above the wrists here, finding this back bend with the glutes tightly engaged. Wherever you are, use the core and draw the hips back over the heels. Step it into downward facing dog. Breathing here. Child's pose is an option if you'd like it. This is child's pose with the arms extended and chest on the knees. A couple more breaths and rest, and we'll take it to the second side. One more breath here and rest. On your next inhale, lift the left toes high. And on your exhale, bend the knee towards the chest. Keep the hips high, rock it forward. Step the foot in between the hands. Get stable, and as you're ready, press into the feet. Lift all the way up into your high lunge. Strong and active back leg. Deep bend in the front leg. You can static hold here in your high lunge, or find that bend and straighten of the front leg again 5 times. Nice. Inhale all the way to the top. And on your exhale, open the arms wide, twist the torso to the right, flatten the back foot now, and point the toes forward at a 45-degree angle. We're coming into our warrior two shape. So the arms are active and strong. The collarbones feel like they're pulling away from one another. You're gazing over your front fingertips here. Deep bend in the front knee. Weight is on the outside edge of that right foot. And you have just a slight tuck in your tailbone here, warrior two. One more breath. Rotate the palm of the left hand up towards the space above you. Slide the right hand down the right thigh. Reach the left arm over the left ear towards the back of the mat, leaning over the back leg. Still have a bend in that front knee. Reverse warrior. Keeping the core hugged in tight here. Come back to your warrior two briefly and find side angle. Bend the left arm. Rest it gently on the left knee. Reach the right arm now towards the top of the mat. Feel length in the side body there. Your chest is still rolled open. Your right arm is over the right ear. You can also gaze under the right armpit if you'd like here. This is side angle. One more breath. Straighten the front leg, setting up for our triangle pose. Extend the arms wide, heel toe, back foot in a little bit slightly. Lean as far forward as you possibly can. And then lower the arm and lift the right arm, gazing up at the right fingertips. Chest is rolling open and not down. Triangle pose. And now, close the chest off to the ground. Plant the hands on the mat. Roll onto the ball of the back foot. Step the feet together at the back of the mat. Find your downward facing dog. Let's take another vinyasa if you'd like. You can also skip this. Rest in down dog or child's pose. If you're with me on the vinyasa, you can try your upward dog if you'd like. Staying at the top of the push-up. And then lowering down, inhaling as you push the chest forward into your upward dog or take cobra shape, lowering all the way to the belly. Glutes are engaged wherever you are. Use the core to draw yourself back to downward facing dog. Come up onto the balls of the feet. Walk or hop the feet to meet the hands at the top of the mat. With a strong core, extend the spine towards the top of the mat. And then exhale to lower back down. And inhale to rise all the way up. Rolling the spine, arms come with you. Exhale, the hands by the sides. We're going to do one round of sun salutation B with a couple variations before we start to change things up a little bit. So let's begin in a chair pose, bending deep into the knees, sitting down in our chair, weight stays in the heels, big toes visible, arms above the head or hands can be on the waist. We want to continue to keep the chest moving forward wherever we are. Shift the weight into the left foot and step and tap the right toes behind us. And then step the feet back together in our chair pose. Shift weight into right foot. Tap the left toes behind us. Sit deep. Step the feet together. One more time each side. Tapping it back. Bring it forward. Tap it back,
and bring it forward. Pausing one more breath here. And on your exhale, straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop the feet back to your plank, vinyasa. Exhale to lower, gaze forward. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling, strong core brings you all the way back. Downward facing dog for one breath here. And then lower onto the knees and take a child's pose. The knees can be touching in your child's pose. If you'd like, you can also separate the knees. Big toes touch. Hips rest over the heels. Arms are extended in front of you. You can also bring the arms next to the sides if you want. A bolster in between the backs of the thighs and the tops of the calves will help take pressure off. If that feels more inviting in your child's pose, do it. Couple more breaths here. Lift the hips, come up into tabletop shape. Shift the weight into the left hand. Let's thread the needle. Bring the left hand just under the face and then shift the weight into the left hand. Let the right hand lift, twist it open, and then thread right arm in between left arm and leg, lowering onto the right shoulder here and the side of your head on the right side here. Feeling a stretch in the outer shoulder here. Keep your hips centered. The tendency is going to want to be for them to sway off to one side. Keep them drawn in towards the center here. Unwind from your needle. Lift the arm again. And place the hands together. Let's change sides. Right hand comes under the face. Sweep the left arm up. Thread the needle. And rest on the side of the head here. Check in with hips. Get them square. And concentrate on opening the left shoulder. Release from here, pressing into the ground with the right hand. Sweep the left arm up again and exhale. Bring the hands back down into your tabletop. We're going to take pigeon pose next. To get there, we're going to do it through a downward facing dog. Tuck back onto the balls of the feet, straighten the legs and lift the hips, down dog. Inhale, lift the right toes high. And then as you exhale, bend the right knee again, sweep the body forward and lower the knee to the mat just behind the right wrist. From here, walk the left toes further back behind you so that you can rest the hips on the mat. If you find your hips don't quite reach the mat, use a block or a bolster or a blanket under the right hip so that you can completely relax in this pose. This is meant to be a outer hip stretch here. The shin can be parallel to the top of the mat or the heel can be close to the pelvis. Either one is fine, or in between. You can walk the heel away from the pelvis or towards the pelvis. So keep the hips square. So both hip points, these bony bits, should be an equal distance away from the top of the mat. Find the shape that suits your body the best, with or without a block or support. And keep the torso lifted. Left leg is extended straight back behind you. Or if you like, you can also bring the forearms down to the mat, or all the way down to the ground, depending on your physique. Figure out what feels best for you today. Again, our goal here is opening in the right hip. It's intended to be a relaxing pose. So if you don't feel relaxed, adjust so that you can relax. Breathing here in your pigeon. We're going to press back through downward facing dog to come to the second side. So lift the torso, walk the left foot forward again to get your hips a little bit more under you. Once you're stable, press into the ground with the hands, lift the back knee, lift the hips, find your down dog. Inhale the left toes high. Bend the left knee, bring it to the chest, rock it forward and lower it down behind the left wrist. Walk the right toes back, settling into your pigeon. Again, this heel can be close to the pelvis, or you can even take it as far as your shin being parallel to the top of the mat. So figure out again what suits your physique so that you can relax. Hips square to the top of the mat. And opening the left hip there. Folding forward if you'd like. Release from your pigeon pose. Come back into a tabletop shape from here. Open the knees as wide as the mat and come onto the balls of the feet. Walk the hands back towards the knees and then lift the knees, coming into our yogi squat or malasana. If your heels would like support here, use a bolster or a couple blocks under the heels. Sitting in our malasana squat or yogi squat, bring the elbows inside of the knees, press them into one another, hands come to prayer at the chest, and draw the chest forward. Spine is straight and tall here. Pausing here in our yogi squat. Step the right hand off the mat, place it on the ground, keeping the arm inside the right knee, and open up the left arm towards the sky, twisting it, the torso, to look up at the left hand. Bring hands back to prayer, change sides, keep the elbow inside the knee, step the left hand off the side and reach the right arm high. Hands back to prayer. Let's make our way all the way to seated. So place the hands behind you and just sit back
Extend the legs long in front of you. Let's find a seated forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And exhale, walk the hands forward, moving the chest forward and not down. Release from your forward fold, bend the knees. Let's take a couple of core building exercises in boat pose. Bring the heels close to the pelvis, sit up tall. We want to try to stay rocked forward on our sit bones and not our sacrum here, but we're going to lift the feet off the mat. You can place the hands back here for support if you'd like. You can bring the shins parallel, hands again for support or next to the shins. Getting some core work done. Zip the thighs and the calves together. Let's breathe here in our boat pose. Sit up tall for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Soften everything down to the ground. Maybe straighten the legs, rebend, shake from side to side. A few deep breaths here. We have one more round of that. Lift back up into your version of boat pose. And you can also grab the legs here for support if you'd like. Wherever you are, if your arms are extended, we're going to reach for the heels. One heel and then the other. Reaching back and forth for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, thighs together, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently setting the feet down. Straighten the legs. Round the back. Make a C shape with the back. We're going to roll all the way down to the back now. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Lowering slowly. Still using the core here. We're going to continue with our core work here on the mat, finding some bicycle crunches. So bring the fingertips behind the ears or clasp the hands behind the head. Lift the head and the neck and the shoulders. Extend one leg, keep the other one bent, and bring opposite elbow to opposite knee for 1, change, 2, change, 3, pause, continue, change, change, and pause, continue, change, change, pause. A few more rounds just like that. Do one more. And then set everything back down to the ground. Heels close to the pelvis here. We're going to lift up into our bridge pose. So keeping the knees parallel to one another, like they're on railroad tracks. Press the low back into the mat first. And then begin to peel the low back off the mat. Little bit by little bit, lifting the hips, drive the knees forward, and engaging the glutes. Finding a bridge pose here, strengthening our back body. Option, stay here. If you'd like to try lifting one foot, you can do so. You can straighten one leg and hold it. You could also
lift the leg up towards the sky. Pausing here for 5, 4, 3, lift the hips high, 2, 1. If you've lifted a leg, swap it out for the second side. Again, just straightening the leg or lifting the heel so it's pointed straight up. Lift the hips high and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Softly setting everything back down to the mat. Press the low back into the ground one more time. Keep the knees bent. Bring the right ankle to the left knee. Let's take a figure 4 stretch. Making sure that your shin remains parallel to the chest. Lift the left heel off the ground. Keep the arms either out to a T shape or in a cactus shape, and use the strength of your core to draw the legs close to the chest. If you find your knee starts to fold in, take the heel closer to the ground until your shin is parallel. Holding here, using the core strength, again, to draw the legs towards the chest. Both feet are flexed. Couple more breaths. And then completely cross the right leg over the left, like you're sitting in a chair with the legs crossed, and let's find a supine twist. Lowering the knees over to the left side and turning your head in the direction of the right hand. You can close your eyes by now if you haven't already, as we wind down this practice. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Engage the core. Lift everything back to center. Uncross the legs. Let's find that figure 4 stretch on the second side. Left ankle over right knee. Again, keeping that shin parallel. Lift the right heel, drawing the shin towards the chest and holding here. Release a little to cross the legs and find that twist on the second side. Gently unwind from there. Uncross the legs, straighten the legs, take the feet as wide as the mat. Let's find our final resting pose, Shavasana. Arms are down by the sides, eyes are closed. Your breath is steady. Relaxing everything into the ground as much as you possibly can. Releasing any grip that you have on your muscles, softening the chest, softening the cheeks, the forehead, the jaw, the abdomen, the pelvis, the glutes. Let's take a few breaths here in silence. Trying to keep your awareness here on the mat with you, scanning the body, seeing how it's feeling, and seeing where you can relax even more.
Begin to bring a little bit of movement back into the body by turning the head from side to side. You can make some wiggles with your toes and your fingers. Maybe rotate the wrists and the ankles. And then bend the knees. Draw the knees up towards the chest. Hands on the shins. Big hug. And roll on to your side. Pause for a moment. And press all the way up to seated. I hope you're feeling strong and that your body is already noticing ways that it will be building muscle. I had a great time practicing with you today. I hope you're enjoying this beginner yoga series. And the next time you do this class, notice that there's a timestamp in the description so you can skip right over the introduction and straight into the class itself. Thanks again for practicing with me today, and I will see you next time.